Hello, let's do a new game here. This time we're analyzing Gukesh against Abdusattorov. We're still in Wijk 2024, which Gukesh shared first place with in that tournament with 3 other players, but Magnus was not playing, as he used to play Wijk, but he didn't play this time, which gave other players the chance to win the tournament. Gukesh playing white against Abdusattorov, and in this time he also played e4 just like he played against Firuzha. And this time Nordebek is playing e5 and Gukesh goes for the Italian. And he goes for knight f6 and d3. This is like the modern main line now, to just play calmly as white. It's of course deeply analyzed. A lot of people play this one, but this move knight c3 is a bit uncommon. It is a known move, but it's a little bit uncommon. But to play a setup with knight c3 and then maybe a4 a3, something like this, it has also been seen in the Spanish. Before, everyone did like a c3, knight should go here, rook e1, move around the knight. It was like everyone thought this was the best one, but even in the Spanish, which can come like this, sometimes they play like this here, maybe something like this, and now black threatens maybe this one, so they make some move, maybe bishop here or a3, and then white aims for this setup, and it's quite a little bit similar to the setup that Gukesh is using in this game with the knight on c3. Okay, so of course here you cannot allow knight a5 trading the bishop, so you have to do either a3 or a4. a3 looks a little bit more logical to me, but he plays a4 and black decides to do that. We have a lot of Gukesh games where there becomes complication on the king side after this kind of a line, because it's a little bit annoying. This pinning is annoying and is threatening knight here, but when white plays g4, sometimes black can sack here. For example, let's see if he can sack now. Yeah, it's already winning for black to sack here, and this is kinda unstoppable, this move. For example, here. So this is already winning for black, of course, with king h8 and f5. So like before computers, this was like thought like this, oh, it can never work to sack on g4, but modern computers see so far, so they see like this is because of the annoying pin here. Like it's just, even if a move like this, it's just impossible to stop the attack here. So you always have to be careful now when you play g4. So he plays this one, not allowing it. Abdusattorov plays queen c1, which I guess the point is to prevent g4 even more, maybe. So he plays here, and he does. I call this maneuver I wonder Liang's maneuver. I've seen a lot of in his games. He likes king h1, rook here, and I think like in chess future, because nowadays you say like this is like the perfect this is the perfect king here. You want a knight here to defend, pawn here so you get luft with your king, and this is like the perfect. But he realized that this kind of position with the king on h1 and rook on g1 is actually even more safer for white. So if you don't know exactly what to do, you could consider playing these two moves just to be even safer. Of course, here it's just not about being safe, it's also about preparing g4, of course. So he played here, and then he did g4, also taking here. Looked a little bit interesting, but maybe it's unnecessary if you play g4 anyway. And here, of course, like if you go back, White will just win a pawn. So there are two options. Either you can go for this one, but this bishop is very passive. There is this, I've told you, if you watch a lot of my channel, I've told you, like, there is this famous some famous game where White maybe played the bishop here and takes, and Black takes with a pawn, and this bishop is like dead, and he just wins an endgame on the queen side. So there is like positional worry here for Black. Also now it's White that could go for h4, h5 attacking ideas here. So it's probably the best shot for Black here to actually give a piece and create counterplay. So he sacks the piece and take to do with the bishop. So this is a bit like the line we looked at before, but White has made two useful moves here with the rook and king, and Black's move king h8 is good because it prepares f5, but maybe queen c8 wasn't the most necessary move. So let's see what happens here. Yeah, you should take here and play the knight here. Bishop is threatened. The most logical is to go here, and White can win a pawn. This pawn is hanging. Yeah, so generally, like here, it's clear that White will have to suffer a bit because this pin is quite annoying. Let's just see. Couldn't he like go and play like this, or no? Yeah, okay, so this doesn't work, of course, for some reason. Black is crashing through, so that's good to understand why he can't go back. So he has to go forward, and then he can win a pawn here. So if you're gonna suffer, you might as well win as much material as possible in some way. So he played bishop here to be able to check here. It was also possible to go here, and I guess that Black's plan is to go here and check. So let's see, if we take the rook then here, and it's already very dangerous. Let's see here if he tries to run. Okay, and Black is apparently winning. Rook down, but it's going to be checkmate here. Check, and then checkmate with the queen here. So that's a nice attack. I've never seen such a strong attack with the bishop. This is a little bit of a unusual position for me. So bishop f4 was interesting, but of course he can't take the rook, then he should go back. Then maybe f5. Here apparently he can take and here. Complicated stuff here. So Black has won back the material, but now White's pieces are better instead here, with the knight and the bishop having good places. But it will still be an interesting game here. So it was a long line, but so this bishop f4 was definitely something to consider. But the Black played here instead, which the computer likes more. And he has to do rook g5 here. Only move. He has to take. and here he has to sack his queen. So Gukesh speciality is either to play against the queen or with the queen, sack the queen or win the queen. It's his speciality. Like, it feels like half the games he has done something like this. So here he decides to sack the queen, so let's do a quick count. White has 2 knights and a bishop for the queen, but black has queen and pawn. So black is up a point, but the pieces are quite strong. White's king is also quite safe, as we know. If the side playing against the queen, if he has a weak king, it's probably game over. But if both kings are safe, then you can often quite good for the pieces. So let's see what happens. Goes here, try to win a pawn, and then f5. Okay, so ef5 is a bit inaccurate. Rook here was stronger. Okay, so if you take. Yeah, important now. Black cannot do this because it's checkmate, of course. Yeah, so white has some play here. Let's see here. Queen here trying to sack back, I guess. What's happening here? Check. Okay, so this is a winning endgame for white because of that fork. So black cannot take here because of the fork in the end. So instead you should apparently go here. Hard move to find. And then take here. Otherwise queen here looks a bit more logical, threatening the knight. c3 and take here. It's a complicated this would also have been a very interesting game. So let's see why this was inaccurate. It was because of the strong move d5. Okay, so black gets the chance to activate his rook here, which is good for black. And white is not in time. Rook here, take here. He can't take here because the mate, so he has to defend f2. So now the computer thinks it's relatively even. But they still have to play careful. And soon white king is starting to get a bit weak here. Especially now he has to take with the king. Can't take with the bishop because he loses the knight. So now it's the... there is no way to win material for black, but the queen is pretty good in these kind of situations. So white avoids the draw here, but with king f1, Gukesh is uncompromising player. g6 logical, try to open some files. So white has some play here. Maybe sometimes, maybe threatens to win the pawn. Maybe knight g5 could be something. It would be nice for white to get some kind of an attack here, but yeah, as we will see now, black has perpetual checks, which he decided to do. Hard to avoid. And if he like do something like this, then it's already winning so he has to be careful. So yeah, interesting game. Would have been fun to see them play on. Maybe king d1 was some kind of a try maybe, but yeah, it was complicated game, so it's a bit understandable, even if a little bit boring that they took a draw here. Okay, see you next time.